All right. Um, for this presentation, I'd like to present the Grassland ecosystem. Um, Grasslands are areas dominated by grasses, as the name suggests. They occupy about 20% of the land on the Earth's surface. Grasslands occur in both in tropical and temperate regions, whereby rainfall is not enough to support the growth of the trees in the grassland. Grasslands are found in areas having well defined hot and dry, warm and rainy seasons. So basically, grasslands are inhabited with hot and dry, warm and rainy seasons. Ongoing, we do have um, then types of natural ecosystems. A natural ecosystem is a setup of animals and plants which functions as a unit and is capable of maintaining its identity. A natural ecosystem is totally dependent and it really focuses on getting solar energy. A natural ecosystem basically can be said or told as it totally depends on solar energy for it to function. There are two main categories of ecosystems, and these are one, terrestrial ecosystem. Ecosystems found on land, for example, forest, grasslands, deserts, and tundra. Aquatic ecosystems have plants and animals, and these communities are found in water bodies. This can be further classified into two subgroups. Have freshwater ecosystems such as rivers, lakes, ponds, and marine ecosystems, oceans, etc. The structure or components of grassland ecosystems. um, the different structural components of grassland ecosystem can be classified as biotic and abiotic components. So we're going to further explain about biotic and abiotic components. So we have the producers hang on the biotic components. The producers in grassland are mainly grasses, through a few herbs and shrubs also contribute to the primary production of what is known as biomass. The consumers in the grasslands are mainly subdivided in three main types. We have the primary consumers, the secondary consumers, and the tertiary consumers. So now I'm gonna take my time in explaining each one of these main types. We have primary consumers. Primary consumers are herbivores which feed directly on grasses. And we have, for example, sheep, rabbits, buffaloes, insects, etc. Secondary consumers, we have the carnivores that feed on primary consumers, which are herbivores. The animals belong to these classes. For example, foxes, jackals, snakes, frogs, lizards, birds, etc. The carnivores feeding on the herbivores is the type of food chain found in the grassland ecosystem. Um, Further explained on the tertiary consumers. These include the hawks, basically animals that feed on secondary consumers. So finally, we have as a last um, type of consumers, we have decomposers. They're not mostly considered in the three main types of consumers, but they are of a class of its own. Um, Decomposers are, or they include bacteria of death and decay, as the name suggests. Um, we have fungi in the same class, and these bring minerals back to the soil to be available for the producers to eat again. So now we have the functions of grassland ecosystem. They perform certain functions as a grassland ecosystem as a whole, and these are they maintain the energy flow through the food chain. And this is really important because the food chain is the main attribute of a grassland ecosystem. And this food chain involves the herbivores, the carnivores, or in other words, the producers and the consumers, as well as the decomposers. Proceeding with the functions, we have the nutrient cycling, which is also known as the biogeochemical cycles. Ongoing, we have the ecological sensation or ecosystem development. We have the homeostasis or cybernetic or feedback control mechanisms to increase the fertility of the soil and regulate the productivity of the ecosystem is also one of the functions of the grassland ecosystem. And lastly, we have to reduce the leaching of minerals due to low rainfall. It's not likely for a grassland ecosystem to experience low rainfall, but in case there is low rainfall in the grassland ecosystems, um, the grassland ecosystem is meant to reduce all this, reduce the leaching of minerals from the whole animals that are inhabited in the grassland ecosystem.